All right, guys, here we go. It is ESV Sanshorn Mists, and on the right side of it is our first Terran player of the evening from the team Evil Geniuses. It is EG.DeMusliM. And in the left part of the map, in the pink, taking down EG.DeMusliM last game, it is Infinity7
All right.
Or
well,
JEcho.
JEcho.
One of the two. Probably
I like
JEcho.
that. JEcho. Kind of cool. No, it is JEcho. But this is Sanshorn Mists, kind of an interesting pick out of EG.DeMusliM for TVZ. You see this picked a lot when people want to play aggressive PvP. You see when people want to play a heavy harass and drop style. So we'll see what EG.DeMusliM has up his sleeve. He can play that harass style very, very well. And but this isn't as conducive to just big tank pushes or long TVZ play.
Well, he's an aggressive Terran, and the trend these days has been to go for a pretty heavy Marine medevac aggression early on in TVZ. So this is a pretty good map for that sort of thing. Wouldn't be surprised at all if that's what we saw. Now, there is a wide ramp as well going into the natural expansion. That's the type of thing that you could use Hellions for. So if he has a mind to do something like double factory Hellion or even blue flame Hellion or something like that, he could also use that. So that's the great thing about this map in TVZ is that Terran really does have a lot of high damage options early in the game against a Zerg player, and JEcho is definitely going to need to be mindful of that.
And indeed he is sending out a very early drone scout now to take a look at his opponent. And, of course, going to 15 hatch here as he sends down that drone to his natural expansion. And EG.DeMusliM has already bypassed gas for a good period of time. So looks like he is going to go for the 1-Rax gasless fast expands, more than likely into reactored Hellions afterwards before he starts transitioning into his upper tech. But things not really out of the ordinary for either of these players quite yet.
You know, I wonder if we are going to see reactored Hellions because, and the reason I say this is because, is he going to get the drone blocked out? Nope, doesn't even care. He's like, come on in, drones. Okay, but basically the thing is that Zergs have been learning how to handle reactored Hellions better and better over time. At first it was the roaches that Stefano was making that were causing problems. Now it's players like, I love to use Zinex's Life as an example, just making about 30 lings in the early stages of the game to just run past it and take advantage of the fact that even though their opponent has Hellions out, it's not very many Hellions, it's definitely not a lot of Marines at that point, and you can get in and deny the natural for quite a while. So I would not be surprised at all. I don't know if it's going to happen this game, but I would not be surprised at all in the very near future to see a lot more Marine bio-oriented openings from Terran start to pop up in tournament play again. I feel like we're just starting to see it, but I think it's going to be really kind of the thing to do as more and more Zergs start to get aggressive again in the early game. The cycle is kind of continuing to turn in the TVZ metagame.
As the world turns.
That's right.
My grandma's favorite soap opera, by the way. Random trivia facts about the Naki family. Anyway,
Cat's Pajama facts, or Kevin Naki facts.
There you go. You're Cat's Pajamas.
I'm not Cat's Pajamas.
I'm Cat's Pajamas. No, I'm Cat's Pajamas.
I've
apparently become Spartacus.
That's right.
Well,
you are kind of like Spartacus.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's one of the best, most noble comparisons someone has given.
Oh, I thought you had a background in gladiatorial arena combat.
No.
Was that someone else?
Unfortunately, virtual gladiatorial arena combat. I played a lot of Oblivion.
Okay.
Maybe that helps.
I might have been thinking of someone else. I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
sorry.
It is indeed going to be reactored Hellions for now, but I was champion of the arena several playthroughs on Oblivion. Yeah.
Cool. I went into the arena in that one zone in World of Warcraft a couple times and died.
That's not a good start, actually.
Well. You know, going off on a little bit of a World of Warcraft tangent, which I'm sure every StarCraft 2 fan loves, my friend and I were actually really big into 2v2 arena. We ran Resto Druid Warlock for a little while. Someone out there knows what I'm talking about.
World
They're like,
of Warcraft.
oh, that duo was terrible. Resto Druids were broken back then. And my response to that would be, yeah, that's why we played it. Of course. So I got bored with it, though, eventually.
I understand.
The beta hit and that. Actually, what happened, the StarCraft 2 beta hit, and that was the end of that.
Well, we're all playing Diablo now, so, you know.
Hey, I'm still playing a bit of StarCraft 2. In fact, I'm switching back to my normal practice schedule this week.
Ooh. Well, hey, look at this.
Sad as it is.
It's going to be reactored Hellions into Banshees, potentially of the cloaked variety here in a second. So EG.DeMusliM going for a very harass-oriented strategy. I mean, it's certainly pretty predictable knowing who he is as a player, but is going to be very fun nonetheless. As J.Echo, did he quad gas? No, he triple gassed and puts down a roach warren for now. Let's see if that's just going to be defensive roaches. He's certainly going to need an evolution chamber, though, pretty soon.
Yeah, I think he will. There's the Evo chamber. I think he will feel some temptation to go for some sort of roach ling all in as well. We'll see. I mean, it's still way too early to call something like that, but on a map like this, the temptation is always there. Again, you know, the wide ramp could be bad for Zergs because of Hellions, but it could be bad for Terran as well because of Lings and Roaches, things like that. And look at this J.Echo. If you look at where his overlords are, that's a bit disappointing. What's that guy doing down there? Yeah, I guess he's sort of watching for drops, but you really need an overlord in position to get into your opponent's base if you need to find out what they're doing, because, yeah, he is going to have no idea that this is coming. There's actually, like, no way that J.Echo is going to see this coming unless he manages to, like, miraculously get a Zergling in there right now.
Well, he does have the Evo chambers up, so we can throw down emergency spore crawlers when the time comes, but... Yeah. As we can see, more Hellions being added on now. The first Banshee has popped up, and in just 40 seconds, Cloak will be finished up.
Yep, and will J.Echo be ready for that? I almost said Idra, but will J.Echo be ready?
We've seen a lot of Idra.
We have.
Idro?
Idro.
What is Idro?
When Idra gets really mad, he like changes and becomes Idro. His hair gets really tall and spiky, and he gains power.
Idro!
Look at this. The Banshee not seen the entire way across the map.
That's right.
J.Echo still has no idea it's there, and I suppose if Idra's not watching the game, he doesn't have any idea it's there either. It's also possible.
Yeah, could be. Well, DeMusliM flying overhead now, and he does have Cloak finished up, so he will be able to start ducking in here. Layer Tech still 20 seconds off, but he will be able to start Overseers after that.
Oh, here comes Banshee number 1.
Uh-oh, he immediately starts a Spore Crawler, so DeMuslim's still going to grab some kills as Layer Tech not finished up either. We'll see if he goes after any Queens or if he's just purely going to go after drones. It looks like it is going to be drones for now.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get a decent amount of drone kills here. He's going to make his opponent use a lot of larva on that, getting the Banshee out before any damage is taken really at all, before Cloak is even done.
Oh, wow.
He wants to focus on that third. That makes sense. It's going to be much harder. I think J.Echo's definitely going to need to cancel that.
Could uncloak this Banshee if he wants to, but yeah, it is going to have to be canceled or killed.
Not
and
canceled.
Immediately, that plus the 6 workers kill does make Cloak certainly worth it. So.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, but there's the Overseer, and one Banshee may get taken out. Nope, they both do get away. DeMusliM in a pretty good spot right now.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. There are upgrades on the way for J.Echo, so he's certainly not out of it yet, but not having that third base is going to hurt. The problem, too, is that he hasn't put up a macro hatch as well. So you can see his money starting to get a little bit high here. He's going to have a hard time. Ouch. He's going to have a hard time spending that in this situation. Banshee number 1 goes down.
Yep, finally does fall. But DeMusliM, as we mentioned before, still finds himself in a pretty good spot, going over to pretty heavy 2-base production. Now has that third orbital command finished up, so we can saturate these bases very, very quickly. And with those 4 mules down, his economy is looking quite good, as we can see. So already sitting on 5 barracks with tank production. So the army value for DeMusliM is really going to shoot up here in a bit.
Yeah, well, it's going to put him in a good spot, too, to be able to push out with that army and then also look at maybe doing a bit of drop play along with that. Looks like J.Echo in the meantime, trying to just continue to get his upgrades. He does have his third down now, so it's going to be probably getting up at about the right time. I don't think that DeMuslim's going to be able to get in and really deny this with the Queens and the Overseers there.
No, and Pathogen Glands is well along the way as well, so J.Echo could start moving over to Infestor production if he so desired. In fact, does have enough gas saved up for 4 of them, so it's a pretty good little troop. And he's not going for it quite yet. There they go. 4 Infestors now popping up.
Yeah. And I believe he might have actually had a macro hatch earlier. I know before I said he didn't, but I think he actually does. Yep, he does. Okay. So, yeah, he's going to be just fine. His money, though, is still getting a little bit high. I'm wondering what he's kind of saving that for. I think, I mean, obviously a lot of the gas is being used on Infestors and upgrades. It leaves him with a lot of minerals left over. And I think he's still a little bit unsure about if he should spend that on drones right now or if he should just kind of save it. And there he does go for drones and a hive. Because I think he's kind of like wondering, is like, all right, it's at the 12-minute mark. We're almost at 13. When's the attack coming? It should be around now, so I have to be ready.
And looks like DeMusliM going to go ahead and secure his next base. See if J.Echo decides to start putting down some creep. And does! That's so annoying to walk over there. It'll go away pretty quick because of how quickly the Overlord went down, but still very, very annoying. Big drop coming in, though, for DeMusliM. Not a lot of drones to kill quite yet, but could pick off a couple of Queens pretty soon.
J.Echo doesn't notice this happening, apparently.
Yeah.
And this could be rough. Oh, because he's attacking at the natural with some lings and roaches. This, I don't know, I think this is a pretty ill-advised attack from j.ECHO.
Yeah, not a lot going to get done here, as we can see. He has killed 18 workers in total, many of those that were transferring across, but DeMusliM coming right back and killing a number of workers on his own, even forces a fungal growth out on just a couple of Marines.
I think he got a couple of the queens, too, as well with that. He maybe got 1 or 2 there, which is rough. Still kind of shutting down that third base for a while at least. There's a Spire on the way as well, so it is going to be relatively quick Broodlords for j.ECHO. Not like the quickest, but relatively quick. But DeMusliM, I don't know, he's just in such a great spot right now. He's got a solid 3 bases going. He's got a better economy than his opponent. He's already got starports up in case he needs to start making Vikings for the Broodlords.
How is he going to answer those, though? I mean, as you mentioned, you know, the starports. Yeah, the starports there, but looks like it's just one of those for now. And, of course, his medevac count is very, very low. Just 5 medevacs out there for almost 50 Marines. So he'll want to invest in that for a while. And no Ghost Academy quite yet.
Yeah, well, it seems like Terran players have kind of, to a certain extent, given up on Ghosts as far as anti-Tier 3 units. But
well, he does know the infestors are out there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. They're still good for EMP, but they're not really good for Broodlords and Ultralisks anymore, so a lot of players will skip them. The Terran's answer to that is usually just try to kill the Zerg, and here's an attack right now from j.ECHO.
Yeah, the tanks aren't all sieging up. Oh, blasting a couple of infestors as they move away as well. So DeMusliM taking a little bit of damage there, but he does maintain his tank count, which is, of course, the most important. However, j.ECHO does have a 4th base now, finally up and running. How many workers have been killed this entire game? Just 29, so a good bit of economic damage, but it's not been completely harassment-focused. Looks like DeMusliM going to sneak his way down around the bottom right.
Yep. And here we go. It's a lot of Marines again. j.ECHO needs to be very, very careful with these Zerglings here. And will DeMusliM be able to take up this 4th base? Here come all the Zerglings. The Infester's running too close again.
Yeah, no kidding. He could throw down another fungal growth and doesn't. He got so many units in the red there, but all of the Marines now surviving and, of course, sitting on 2-2 upgrades that are going to tear through buildings.
You want to know the answer to Broodlords right now in TVZ?
Just don't let them come out?
This. Yeah, just kill the Zerg.
There you go.
That's the answer to Broodlords and Tier 3 tech, yeah. So that, excuse me, that's exactly what DeMuslim's going to do. This was his plan all along, and he's definitely going to get this 3rd base. And with this 3rd base taken out, it's going to be very difficult for j.ECHO to come back and really take advantage of that tech that he's kind of went up to.
Right, so now he just has to make as many emergency Zerglings as possible. I hate to tell him, but Zerglings aren't going to be all that effective against that great siege tank position with all of the Marines heading through as well. So looks like the last vestiges of his army is running up now, trying to cut off reinforcements. Not even going to get the tanks that were sitting there. So all of a sudden we find ourselves at a 80 supply advantage for DeMusliM, and he is just overrunning his opponent.
Well, this is actually a very clever timing, too, for DeMusliM. And j.ECHO leaves the game, of course. Well, if Idris doesn't, why should he? But
yeah, so there we go, guys. EG taking their 4th game in this set. And they now find themselves just 1 game away from advancing into Winners Round 2.
DeMusliM played that game great.